jump. Climb out on the roof, just jump, motherfucker, you a lazy little shit. Why not jump and just fucking quit? It's your own fault, boy, you never did enough. And now you're gonna pay for the fucking shit you say. Victim blaming, mental shaming, always bitching cause I'm gaming. But this shit now I'm proclaiming, and I'm aiming for the house of lies that you built on the hill of the dagger that you staggered my ass with. Now you haggard, I'm so aggro. Call your fucking son a faggot. Why so ragged? You a maggot. See $1 and just grab it from the mouth of the starving reprobate. So much hate, bitch, I needed an escape from the rape of my sanity. Humanity is drained from my motherfucking corpse as I hit the fucking dirt. All the fucking hurt and the shit I can't recall dies with me. All the shame and the failure, I'm a terror. Fuck my mirror, time to fix this fucking error. Yeah, I'm the bearer of this shit, and I wear it on my wrist. Now it's time to cut it out and just grow the fuck up. In my mirror, it's a vision that I see of myself. Damn, I'm looking like my father, so why even bother? I'll die for my mother, so I'll never treat another the way that he fucked her. I'll break this damn cycle and jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 motherfucker. Just jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 motherfucker. When there's evil in my heart and there's Satan in my veins, I'm insane. Best get stitches in my brain or a cane, cause I can't fucking stand on my own 2 feet. Feet is my only fucking path. I'ma retreat, can't rest until my brain hits the concrete. Fuck you, I'm just tired of this DC and these lies that you fucking spew, and the shit you put me through, and the shit you fucking do. But sometimes I just wonder if the shit you say is true. I'm just so damn rude and irresponsible to boot, and I'm the fucking reason mama's cutting her wrists open. I just see too much, play too much, got some shit to say too much. Never clean my cage, I must. Such a fuss, boy don't cuss. I'ma fucking take your trust, give to God and make it rust. Time to bust, mustn't lust, gonna leave you in the dust. Live a life that's unjust, into hell you will be thrust. Satan is your just reward, you don't get a fucking sword. All of time you won't be bored, only flames, just rest assured. When my warnings you've ignored, you'll be punished by the Lord. Cast aside you are abhorred, grace will never be restored. Jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 motherfucker. Just jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 motherfucker. Just jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 motherfucker. Just jump, 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 motherfucker. Jump, 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 jump.
This shit got my fucking stomach in. Never eat a fucking again. Better pray for all my sin. I don't feel no pain again. Fucking quit, got my fucking stomach in. I don't need a fucking again. Suffer now for all my sin. Never feel no pain again. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing.
Waking up like I ain't broke. All I need's a fucking smoke. While I fucking walk, drink another fucking coke. Food just make me wanna choke. Got my stomach by like smoke. No, that's not a fucking joke. Clear my plate, I'd rather croak. Extra shit like a bad plot. Mentally all I do is rot. Feels like I've been fucking shot. Fuck this love, I wanna accept my lot. Why so fat? Why so fat? You so ugly, got no tats. Why so fat? Why so fat?
Now you feel just like a mat. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm from what I eat, then I must be nothing. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing.
Feel so nauseous, I can't eat. All I want's a fucking sleep. Cut it out, that's not a leap. I won't, so I'd rather weep. Fuck this shit, I don't know why. Makes me wanna fucking die. All I do is fucking cry. You won't see me eye to eye. I ain't hungry, eat no steak. Want no bake for your cake. Fuck them bitches, they all fake. They just judge them on a snake.
Pile in my throat when I see a fucking note. I don't want to fucking choke. All I need's an antidote. When I die, that's all she wrote. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing. But from what I eat, then I must be nothing.
I can't step to X, but if I wanna be the best alive in this game next, and there's some reckless shit that I gotta address. Up in this damn booth wearing a dress. Man, I can't even stress this enough. Damn, this game is rough. Y'all can call my bluff. I don't give a fuck. Damn, your vocals suck. Auto-tune you up. Mumbling amuck. Gucci gang it up. Chick-fil-A my cock like a 3 for Leyland Galen on a whaling tour. And it's hailing on him. Seen a river of fame and start sailing on it. Up in this YouTube shit, but I'm failing on it. So I get up on the mic and start wailing on it. Done some dumbass shit, but I'm bailing on it. Bitch, don't even fear. Start a new career. Come up on the rear. Bum up for the queer. Shed a little fucking tear for me, cause I can't get it up, but I'm ready to suck dick at an industry which already came on my dress and made a big fat mess like a princess who's been undressed and forced into an incest. To alleviate my stress, I think I'll take a damn respite. Don't get me wrong, I'm ready to aggress. And that lion ass red can attest. When it comes to blood sports, I'm the fucking best. And if y'all wanna de-stress, feel free. I'm just here to impress and be me, while y'all are here to regress and be weak. Violent chic like Muhammad Ali, with a violent streak and a well-placed uppercut to George Foreman's beak. Why the fuck are y'all so meek? You won't inherit a shit with that attitude. Especially not a planet that you boomers took and just ran it into the ground and juiced it up like a damn pomegranate and raped it like a righteous Islamic, robbing the cradle of civilization like a bandit.
Yo, what it do, y'all? What it do? Hell yeah. Damn it. No, God fucking, wait, this is the wrong screen. What am I? There we go. God damn it. Okay. We got it, guys. We got the fucking green screen. We got the green screen. I don't know who you are, but I don't know if you're trying to be mean. Autobot, whatever. I don't know. Jamie, you're still a poop. Damn. Why is everyone being mean tonight, yo? Why the meanness? This is a friendly community, guys. Seriously, like, if you're here to troll, this isn't really the place for that. Like, you're welcome to watch, but we don't need assholes in the chat. Juggalo rap. I feel like juggalo rap, is that an insult? I don't know. I've never been a juggalo. I've never been into ICP. If that rap was inspired by anything, it was inspired by Eminem, who probably is like my biggest influence when it comes to rap in general. Ah. Jamie looking sexy in that red top. Thank you. Hell's yeah. It's actually I think it's pink. I don't know. Everyone keeps saying it's red, but it looks pink to me. Like this looks. I don't know. Pink, red, whatever. I'm not great with colors. Okay. Eminem stan alert. Nah, I don't stan Eminem. I'm a big fan. Dude, I I love how even Eminem contributes to the misuse of that term, because like I guess like now it just means to like be a really insane fan of someone, like to be a super fucking like diehard fan of someone. But like I would have thought that like being a stan would be someone who's like so insane that they're willing to like kill themselves over the person they're a fan of. Well, I guess maybe like it in a colloquial sense it could still mean that, but like people like, you know, use it hyperbolically. So I just guessed red to compensate. I'm colorblind to me, so it looks orange. Damn. Well, see, I'm not colorblind per se. Like I can tell the difference between like colors, but like I can't tell like very specific differences between like color. Like I can't tell you what the difference is between lavender or chartreuse or champagne or I don't know none of that. All right. I wish I did. I wish I was better with colors. I wish I was more artistic in general, because then I think I would be like way better with makeup, because yeah, I didn't do a wonderful job tonight, okay? You guys can tell by the eye. Like it actually looked better before I went downstairs and like touched it up. Cuz I was like, cuz yeah, I got all my makeup shit like in the bathroom downstairs and like I had my makeup done and I came up here, I was like, "Okay, time to stream." And then like I looked at it and I was just like, "No. We gotta, honey, we gotta, we gotta rework this." So I went downstairs and I thought I fixed it. I think I just made it smudgier. Whatever. It's fine. I can always do, what is it? Yeah, oh yeah, I can always do one of these, yo. Ooh, look at me. I'm a ghost. I'm a scary wait, the chair is... You can see the chair. Like, I'm a scary ghost. Woo. I'm gonna eat you, or whatever. I'm gonna eat you. Eat all of y'alls. Why am I covering the chat? What up, Juniper Jupiter? Welcome. Hells yeah. Bye-bye Afghanistan. I know. It's sad. We should all be ashamed of ourselves. We really should. Even like, hey, I'm Canadian, but you know what? I live in Western culture. And you know what? Canada probably had something to do with the... Canada definitely has something to do with the whole military-industrial complex, okay? Canada's hands are not clean either. And at the end of the day, we all, as Westerners, benefited from... well, actually, that's not true. Let's be clear. Our hands are all dirty. I don't know that we all necessarily benefited. In fact, a lot, like, we lost a lot of freedoms because of that shit. You know, like, the Patriot Act and, you know, shit like that. TSA, surveillance. Not good. Not fucking good. I'm vibing with this, this filter, yo. I'm vibing with it. But yeah, I was watching Demon Mama earlier, and she was making some really good points. I'll be honest, I'm not as well versed in the whole thing, like the whole foreign policy thing. I mean, I know like overall the situation, right? We fucking started a war 20 years ago and have been making things worse and worse and worse ever fucking since, and billionaires have been getting richer and richer. Innocent lives have been just desolated. And it's a fucked up situation. And now that we pulled out, you know, also the thing that we did is contributed to and built up things like ISIS and the Taliban and terrorist organizations. So those are our fault too. So we did a lot of shit. I mean, again, I say we only in the sense that, like, this is our like, I do think the blood is on all our hands to an extent. However, it's true that a lot of us didn't make this decision. There were certain people that made these decisions for us. And honestly, at this point, like, I know it'll probably never fucking happen, but I wish we would just fucking try all these people for war crimes. Like, all of them. Starting with George Bush, Dick Cheney, just all those fuckers, dude. Probably a shitload of Democrat, Hillary Clinton, probably. Also as well, Bill Clinton, yeah. Oh, fucking, you know what? Can we just have, like, an enforcement of, like, national law for a change and, like, have America held to that standard? Could that, like, maybe be a thing? Like, oh my God, imagine if, you know, the useless nations were actually willing to fucking do something. Yes, line those gallows up. I'm not necessarily saying gallows, but I think there should be fucking criminal proceedings. Now, is that going to solve the problem? No. Is that going to make anything better for the people of Afghanistan? No. But I'm going to switch back to this. It's distracting. But yeah, I do think that there should be consequences and there should be fucking accountability for this shit. If for no other reason than to ensure that this shit doesn't fucking happen again. Yeah, I want to line up all the politicians, government officials, and military personnel, generals and whatnot that had anything to do with propping up the fucking lie that there were weapons of mass destruction. I like everybody who has a hand. I want them all fucking lined up in fucking court, and we can go through one of the each one of them one at a time, and give these people the fucking sentence with that's you know the sentence that's befitting. Keeping in mind again the fact that all of the lives of not just the people dying now in Afghanistan, the people that are going to suffer now because of God damn it, I hate this lighting. Okay, whatever. Not only the people who are going to fucking suffer now, but the people who have suffered in those countries, not just Afghanistan, by the way. Afghanistan is the fucking tip of the iceberg here. People who have suffered in multiple countries around the world due to this fucking imperialist fucking military-industrial complex bullshit that has been allowed, again, to allowed to be a thing in America that just goes unquestioned by the populace and by most inhabitants of other fucking Western countries as well. Yeah. And I'm gonna be real fucking honest with y'all. This was a line I was a little afraid to take when I was living in the U.S. Not exactly legally. Waiting in immigration limbo. You know, I was kind of like afraid to like Cartman. Yeah, I was afraid to say what I thought because I really thought that, like, especially like when I was going to go through immigration shit, that they were going to like go through my fucking channel and everything. God damn it. Fucking you know what? No. See, I like this, but it looks way too fake. People gonna be thirsting over this one, and yeah, I don't like this level of false advertising. I don't like the lighting on my face, guys. All right. Yeah, I know I'm getting I'm getting distracted by vanity while talking about a very, very important subject. You know what? I'm just gonna go back. I'm going back. No, not this one. Going back to the ghost face. All right. I'm going back to the. I'm doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing ghost face. All right. Is it racist towards ghosts to do ghost face? I don't think so. So I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. All right. Doing the rest of this rant in ghost face. Yeah, dude, I was a little bit afraid of going there. I imagined like CIA agents kicking down my door and dragging me to an ICE detention camp as a foreign insurgent for going after what honestly everybody needs to be going after. Everybody needs to be fucking calling out the fact that the U.S. has gotten away with war crimes for way too fucking long. The U.S. military-industrial complex has benefited from committing war crimes. Bush, we know George Bush is guilty himself of war crimes. Where is the fucking, why is he still fucking out on the streets, you know, doing whatever the fuck he wants? Why is he not locked up in a fucking cell in Guantanamo Bay or some shit? About Dick Cheney? Where the fuck is it? No accountability. This is why I wanted Trump held accountable so badly, by the way. Because I thought if we could set a precedent now of some level of fucking accountability, that maybe we'd be able to stop repeating this mistake of putting people in power, letting them run rampant, rape this fucking country, and then just walk off scot-free. Like, yep, okay. I'll go on with my life. In fact, I'm going to make millions now, and I'm going to live extremely fucking comfortably and have fucking Secret Service protect my ass for the rest of my fucking life. Even though I contributed to the raping and pillaging and murdering of countless thousands of fucking people. Human lives. You can try and dehumanize fucking, you can try and dehumanize the Afghani people all you want, or Middle Eastern people. Heck, I used to do it. When I was a kid, I was raised to think that, like, Muslims were disgusting, filthy terrorists that all wanted to destroy Western ideals, wanted to destroy everything we fucking cared about. And that's what happens. We get radicalized into fear, which allows us to fucking hurt innocent people, sit idly by and allow our governments to murder people, to destroy countries, to destabilize foreign governments. And the people don't rise up. The people don't say enough is a fucking enough. You're taking our tax dollars, by the way. Our tax dollars as people. And again, I'm not just talking about America. I'm talking about as Westerners in general, because Canada does this too. All Western governments do this to an extent, but America is particularly guilty for this imperialistic bullshit. Taking the tax dollars of its citizens, using that money to prop up wealthy fucking billionaires and make them richer and richer while we destroy the lives of innocent people, innocent families overseas. But what? They're overseas. We don't gotta look at them. We don't gotta hear them. Right? We don't gotta worry about that shit. We get to fucking turn a blind eye to that shit. We get to stick our fingers in our ears. stick our ear pods, our Raycons in our fucking ears, listen to our fucking iPhone while we're lying in a fucking tanning booth after buying like a fucking $1,000 Gucci Armani fucking handbags and shit, so we can go brag to our fucking friends about how fucking cool we are, while our government is raping and pillaging the rest of the world. And, by the way, taking away our freedoms. Making it harder for us to live as free individuals. Again, surveillance states. We all live in a fucking surveillance state at this point. All of us. This is all fucking... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to read your comment and then I'm going to reply to that because I saw a family of Muslim people today at the Apple store, maybe not even close to being Afghan, but they looked visibly comfortable. I hope the race crimes don't escalate here in the US, unfortunately, because as I've said, or as other people have said, I think Vosh said, yeah, like reparations for Afghanistan, absolutely. I am absolutely accepting, sorry, no, as a lot of people have said, yeah, we need to accept the refugees. No, I also do go the step further of saying, yeah, and I think Vosh also said this, yeah, reparations to rebuild that country, or maybe Demon Mama said it. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Someone said it, all right? A great thinker on the internet said it, and they probably weren't the first either. But my point is, we have destroyed their country, and we should be taking them in, and we should be giving them reparations, shit like that, even though that'll never happen. But we should at least be taking in their refugees. The problem is, we're going to take in their refugees, and then the same right-wing war machine group of ideologues are going to come out of the woodwork and start blaming every fucking goddamn thing, every social ill in America on the Afghani refugees. And again, like, hey, you know what? All I'll say is, hey, maybe the Mexicans in America will get a fucking break for 5 minutes until they start focusing on them as well. They'll only be distracted. The bigots in America will only be distracted by the Afghani refugees for so long before they start just reverting back to their broader racisms toward anyone who isn't white. Which is, in general, like, what got us into that mess in the fucking first place, by the way. But this is the fucking problem. If there's no accountability, if we don't learn from this, we will repeat it. We will. Even if people like me and Vosh and Demon Mama and you know, other people, Kyle Kalinske, fucking, you know what? I'll throw TJ his bone too. He's doing that. Paul, you know, people like us aren't out here screaming and bitching and saying, "Hey, this is fucked. This is fucked, and it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. We need to make this right." And we need to stop blaming all our fucking problems on minorities and on brown people overseas. Because, yeah, what'll that do? It'll turn from us hating brown people overseas to us hating brown people over here to being back to, well, see, this is why we have to hate the brown people overseas, because they're the ones that come here, and that's where the fucking ideologies come from, so we need to go after them again. We can't let this fucking cycle. We have to be willing to call it out and stop it. And anybody who engages in these hate crimes, like this racist fucking view towards like anyone who might come here as a refugee, like, that shit needs to be stopped. That shit needs to be called out and looked down on the minute it happens. We can't all be willing, and I'm talking to each and every fucking one of you out there who has a racist uncle or a racist grandparent or just someone who's just really ignorant and doesn't get it, or some edgy fucking nephew or uncle or whatever or friend. who spends a little bit too much time on fucking 4chan. We need to call these people out when they start using slurs, when they start making implications. I say, hey, what are you trying to say there? And we gotta be ready to remind these people instantly, hey, we're the ones that raped their fucking country. We're the ones that fucked them over. The only reason they are here is because of our fucking wrongdoing. Now, of course, I do believe right-wing ideologues are going to, unfortunately, start to stoke the original flames of you know, shit from 20 years ago and try to, like, come up with justifications. It's all bullshit. We know it's all bullshit. Even Republicans, by the way, and you can use, like, Republican talking points. Like even Trump. Be like, what? Why are we still there? Doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't be there. You know, I want to pull out, but, you know, I'm too much of a pussy to pull out. I'm afraid that, that she's gonna see it and laugh if I pull out, right? It was dark before, and now, look, everybody's gonna know that I don't have what it takes. Look, I want to pull out. I'm going to pull out someday, okay? I just need a second term, and I need people to be willing to storm Capitol buildings and overthrow democracy for me. See, wait, I can actually do a better Trump. This is actually better. I don't know what I was doing before. We're pulling out, guys. All right. You get the point. We're pulling out, right? You use that. Use that again. Be like, no, fuck you. Don't bring up shit from 20 years ago and pretend that fucking has any fucking bearing. We knew it was, a lot of us knew it was bullshit 20 years ago. Most of us knew it was bullshit a year ago. So you don't get to sit there now and be like, oh, no, let's go back to that. You gotta call that shit out. Like, fuck you. No. We fucked them over. They're gonna be here. And you know what? They should. They should have the fucking ability to live in a place where they can thrive. Where they can actually, like, be happy and shit. And after the fucking shit that we put their country through over the last 20 fucking years. Yeah. Oh my god. The least we can fucking do is offer them a fucking place to stay. A little fucking place to stay on our couch. Here you go. Here's a couch to fucking crash on after we launch nukes into your country. Metaphorically, of course. After we decimated your country and your democracy, occupied you for fucking 2 decades. Occupied you for 2 decades. Propped up fucking terrorist organizations. Deconstructed your entire fucking democracy, and then we fucking left. Just with no oversight, with no exit strategy in place. We just all right, peace. You're on your own now. Oh, what, the Taliban? Yeah, no. Hey, sorry, bro. We can't handle that. We can't help you there. What? Like, it's not like we started the problem. Hey, we said we're pulling out, right? Hey, this ain't our problem anymore. It's still our problem. And while I don't want our boots on the ground there, I do want us willing to fucking take people in. Holy fuck. If we're not going to be hospitable to the people that we just fucking destroyed the homes of, what the fuck can we do? Then they'll just call you a social justice warrior and tell you to go back to Canada? Yeah? Tell them, okay, fucking Nazi. Social justice warrior. And that was hyperbole, by the way. I don't think all people that use the social justice warrior as a fucking pejorative are Nazis, but that way of thinking was definitely propagated by Nazis. Yeah. Sorry. Your entire fucking way. I think you're fucking SJWs. Fucking feminists. That was all. You were all fucking taken in by Nazis. You were all duped. You had your heads fucking brainwashed. You were convinced, literally, Nazi influencers, alt-righters, who wanted to fucking... who wanted to completely discredit any idea of leftist ideology. They knew what they were doing. It was a targeted fucking attack towards the left. Targeted. And again, and a targeted way of causing people to turn against their own fucking best interests. Oh my god. The anti-SJW narrative. As if I'm gonna fucking give the slightest bit of credence to those people. I'll tell them exactly what kind of destructive bullshit they've bought into if they think that me advocating for again just logical fucking hospitality whatever towards people that we've just fucked over for the last 20 years, if they're gonna listen to that, call me a fucking social justice warrior, I'll call them the fucking alt-right leaning reactionary dipshit that they are. We need to be willing to call these people out more too. Honestly. They I talk to people in my family who I don't know, they don't follow this shit. But I hear them say like stupid fucking talking points. Stupid talking points that have been not fed to them directly by the alt-right, but fed into the mainstream by the alt-right. Even the idea that, like, you know, I was talking to some of my family earlier today, and they were like, oh, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm all for transgender treatment. I think everyone should get the care they need, but I just don't like that there are parents that push it on little kids. They push it on little kids. They tell the kid that's what they are because they wanted a girl instead or whatever. And I had to call that shit out. I was like, no, that doesn't fucking happen. That's bullshit. Maybe that happened once or twice. But most of the time when people call that out and say, oh, this is just the parent pushing on the kids, when you look into it, there is no evidence of that. I've not seen a story that the alt-right has pulled out to try to, oh, well, see, what about this one? Look, I don't see evidence of that child being pressured. Nope. Now, maybe I haven't seen every story. Maybe there's one out there. I don't know. But this idea that it's a rampant problem needs to be stamped out. Because, yeah, never happened. Never happened. By the way, no parent, especially a trans parent, by the way, wants their fucking kid to go through this, okay? Nobody. I'm sorry, like, no. You're full of shit. I don't want my fucking child, if I ever have one, to, like, have to fucking question their own fucking identity to that extent and to feel like they need to change their body in order to be happy and feel like themselves. I don't enjoy it. Why the fuck would I push it onto someone else? Yo, what up, Blair? But yeah, in general, a lot of alt-right talking points have made it to the mainstream. They've made it to, like, radio talk shows and you know, late night opinion pieces on local news channels. And our normie family members are listening to this shit. They're listening to it. And hey, I'm not gonna be like like our parents were back in the back during the satanic panic and all that, where it's like, oh, we can't allow our kids to watch this filth. We have to do a crusade against the filth and get rid of it. Which, yeah, I'm not saying we need to censor ideas. That's not my prescription here. Although I do think that some shit is inherently harmful and goes too far, and yeah, does violate the terms of service of platforms that it's being propagated on. And I have no problems with those platforms stepping in at certain points, because the internet has given us a ridiculous amount of freedom, okay? You realize, by the way, like, the parents that were, like, trying to censor what was on TV, like, there's already, it's not easy to just put something on TV, okay? Not just anyone can go have a fucking TV show, unless, I guess, you have, like, do some local access shit or whatever. But, like, for the most part, like, in order to reach, like, wide groups of people, now anyone can reach anyone, okay? Anyone can get on any platform for any reason. There's zero vetting. There's no one to be like, hey, we're not putting this on our network because this is literal Nazi posting bullshit. You're literally calling for, like, genocide of an entire group of people or some shit. Like, but anyway, I digress. What I prescribe we do, see, and this is what I wish our parents would have done, our parents' generation, back during the 90s, during the whole, like, oh my god, we can't allow this on television. I wish that what they would have done is sit down, talk to us, have conversations, contextualize shit. Be honest. Talk about the issues you have with something, and try and, teach people to think critically. If you know someone who's watching something problematic, try and figure out, like, what it is that's problematic about that, and get them to question that shit. Get them to question, well, how do you know this is true? How do you know, like, did this person, like, cite evidence? Or are you just believing what they fucking say? Questions, yes. You gotta question people. You gotta ask questions. You gotta figure shit out. Because, and that's how you fucking, by the way, that is a good way to convince people, is asking them questions. Because this way, you're not just telling them something. You're getting them to think of it themselves. You're leading them down a path with questions that they can choose to follow or they can be resistant to. That's not up to you. But if they choose to follow that path, they're building a foundation of beliefs for themselves, rather than just taking someone else at their word for something. Now, this isn't going to work with everybody, especially a lot of boomers and older people. They're not going to go online and do research themselves, so you'll probably have to do the research for them, or, explain shit. There's all different levels of, like, how to convince each individual person. But, like, you got to get people to question shit. At the very least, if it's someone who's never going to do research, you can at least be like, well, how do you know that they're telling you the truth? How do you know that? And if you have, like, your own facts, be like, okay, well, how do you know that their facts are better than mine? How do you know that, I didn't, stumble upon the correct facts, And you try to lay it out and have them question it. Why do you believe this? Figure it out down to its fucking core. Why do you believe this? And maybe we can get somewhere with people. Not everybody. Look, we're not going to get somewhere with everybody. And I'm not saying we should be going after, like, the alt-right people necessarily, because a lot of them are really entrenched in their belief systems and they have to come out of it on their own. I mean, if you can convince them, sure, but we need to be convincing, like, individual people, family, friends, like, family and friends, coworkers and shit, people that we know. We gotta be willing to have uncomfortable fucking conversations. And again, don't just push your ideology onto people, but question people. I know Galen is a very big proponent of, God damn it, why am I blanking on it? I was just about to say it, and then I forgot what it was called. The Socratic method, yes? I believe that's what it's called. Which is just asking people why, questioning, You use, yes, the Socratic dialogue, yes. Because rather than just telling someone something, because, I talk a lot about the religious mindset. A lot of people that come out of religion, they believe in adhering to one ideology versus the other, and they're not. Religion does not teach you to critically think for yourself. So you kind of have to teach other people to think critically, not like sit down, all right, Uncle Racist, Uncle Job, I'm gonna explain to you how to think critically, all right? You're an idiot, and I have to, like, educate you now. Like, nobody likes being talked to like that. That doesn't work. But you kind of, it's a teach a man to fish sort of thing, where, like, rather than just giving someone the answer, you ask the questions to lead to the answer that you're trying to give them, and you can help them along the way, but, you're like, well, why do you believe this? Okay, well, where's the evidence for that? Okay, you heard this person say it, and, they seem to be an expert on the subject, but how do you know that they're an expert? Well, have you done the research yourself and figured this out? Well, yeah. I mean, you can make them think it's their idea. It doesn't necessarily have to go to that level, but essentially, yes. I think that's a little bit of a reductive way of describing it, but essentially, yeah. You're trying to make the person think that they, you're trying to lead them to a conclusion. And again, you might not even lead the person to the same conclusion as you, and that's fine. That's fine. You're not always going to lead someone to the correct conclusion, but at least you got them to question it. At least you got them to waver a little bit. And even if they're, you are at point A and you want them to get to point B, but instead they got to point C. It's like, okay, at least they're not at point A anymore. And maybe if you keep arguing with them, maybe if you keep, asking questions and trying to, like, challenge their assumptions, maybe eventually you can lead them to B. Or maybe they'll lead themselves there. Everyone takes their own journey to end up where they're going to become. We don't all just follow the same fucking path. So, like, maybe they'll get there on their own, but there are a lot of people that just don't question shit. They hear it on CNN or on whatever. Hey, it was on TV. They said it on TV, so hey, it must be true. A lot of older people think this way. And I'm sorry, guys, the older generation, I know we want to just be like, just whatever. They're all going to vote right wing anyway. They're all going to vote stupidly. We can't convince them. No, guys, they are a huge voting bloc. Huge. Okay? If you can convince someone in your family of, the correct path forward, I guess, that's not a small thing. If every fucking see, here's the thing, and this is why a lot of my criticisms of, like, leftists like Jimmy Dore are a thing, because I feel like a lot of leftist action is taking place under the assertion that, like, we're big enough, we should be able to cause enough change, if we just don't vote, or if we just do this or do that, or just get mad and dig our heels in. The fact is, when it comes to, like, taking, like, immediate desperate action, we're not there yet. We're not. We're a minority. Leftists are a minority. But if each and every one of us was putting in the effort, the time and the effort and the work into convincing those around us, again, it's not easy and it never happens overnight. But if you can work at people, especially people in the long term, don't make it every conversation that you have with that person. Don't make it all about that. Don't be evangelical about it. But especially when it comes up, especially when they bring up politics, that's always a good time to, like, challenge someone when they're the one that brought it up. It's always a good opportunity then to be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna, especially if they're wrong about it, be like, or if, you believe they're wrong about it, challenge it. Go up against it and try to, like, make them understand your perspective. See, and here's another thing. that a lot of people, I don't think, realize just how valuable it is. You don't even need to necessarily convince that person to be on your side. All you really need to do is get them to understand your perspective. If you can get them to put themselves in your shoes for a minute and be like, or in the shoes of someone who, you know, would agree with you, or, you know, whatever. Like, if you can get them to understand your perspective, understand where you're coming from and why. That's another thing that I don't think people, like, put enough value in. And I think, again, like, the atheist movement, much like I think the atheist movement or the skeptic movement kind of cause people to, like, devalue the usefulness of anecdotal evidence when it comes to convincing individuals. Because, again, anecdotal evidence can be useful for convincing people you know, okay? It shouldn't be used in a debate, and you shouldn't hinge your entire ideology over on it, but it can be the thing that, like, convinces someone, that like, pushes them over, like, over the fence and makes them think, okay, yeah, I get it now. I see, I understand what you're saying. There's actual real-world examples of what you're talking about. I always try to influence people. Most people I know are normies and have a low attention span and are low info enough. It's low info, though. It's a huge task. Yeah, it is. It is, but it's important. There's a lot of huge tasks that are still important. It's hard. Advocating for leftism is hard. Creating a fucking change, making a difference is hard. But if we can do, it's worth it. It's worth doing. And if we can do it, if we can convince people in our lives, again, I try to, again, and I don't make everything I talk about all about politics, but, like, especially if someone else brings it up, yeah, I try to use my knowledge and my rhetoric on these things in my real life. Absolutely. And there's maybe, like, a 5 or 6 people in my personal life that I talk to that every once in a while I'll talk to them about these things, and I've already convinced one of them pretty much, you know? Actually, again, I don't even think it was me completely. Like, one of my sisters, like, she is really smart, and I've definitely nudged her in a certain direction. In fact, you know what? Both my sisters they're both really fucking smart. They both used to be a little less, not less smart, but they used to follow less productive ways of thinking. And I think, you know, over the years, I've nudged them both in different directions. And one of my sisters even told me earlier, she was like, yeah, just in terms of, like, giving up on religion, I was a big influence for her. And she, you know, wouldn't have started questioning that shit if it wasn't for me, like, you know, kind of, you know, questioning her about it myself over the years. And I have another sister as well who, similar shit. I talked with her about this shit and politics too. And, you know, like, we can convince people of shit. You can help people to think rationally, especially when the more rational you learn to think, you can use that knowledge that you have, the critical thinking skills you've developed, and teach them to others. Help others understand them, because there is nothing more important than knowing how to think critically. I do believe that if we had a world of critical thinkers, there would be a lot less conflict, less war, less Republicans, honestly, if we all just thought, like, critically, actually critically. But unfortunately, even those of us that do learn to think critically, a lot of us keep it to ourselves. And some people even use it to, like, smugly, you know, look down on others and be like, oh, well, at least I think critically. Yeah, great. Good for you. There are people that don't. And I'll be honest. One of my bigger criticisms of Paul, and something that I actually wish I brought up in my conversation to him, I don't remember if I touched upon it or not, but I've talked about it since. I've talked about it a lot before, and just in general, I think it's a criticism that needs to be made. Paul made the criticism of me that I was basically like he stumbled upon it. He didn't really like outright say Jamie's not a critical thinker, but he was kind of saying that. He accused me of being a Vosh simp that can't think for myself and just parrots whatever the fuck Vosh says, and that I just jump around from one ideology to the next, and, you know, I can't think for myself. He believes that... So basically what he's saying there is he believes that critical thinking is important. And he thinks that if you don't think critically, you're an idiot. But then I don't necessarily, and I will be charitable. I can be charitable and say maybe I haven't seen it myself. But I personally don't see Paul spending a lot of time trying to promote critical thinking in the people that listen to him. And I think maybe that might be in part to do with the fact that he benefits from having people that, you know, hang on his every word. And I don't know. I'm not going to ascribe an uncharitable position to him, because as much as I have my disagreements with him, I don't have any proof that he's acting maliciously there. I just think it's a little unwise of him. And if I get a chance to talk to him again, I will challenge him on that, because I do think it's important to challenge the people listening to you. Guys, those of y'all that listen to me, you can... I know there's a lot of people who are like, damn, Jamie, that's really base. That's really smart. You know, you're really intelligent. Still challenge me. Challenge me. Okay? I want an audience of people, by the way, that challenges me, that doesn't just go along with everything I say. That's not to say, by the way, that you can't appreciate my brilliance from time to time. Of course. That's not a bad thing. But I just want people to remember that I'm not perfect either. Nobody is. Nobody should just be listened to for everything. We need to be able to challenge everything we hear, even if it's just in our own mind, and we ask ourselves, okay, like if you hear me say something, okay, and you're like, damn, I agree with that. Here's a challenge. Your green screen is creepy. I know. You know what? I'm going with this one, okay? It looks fake as fuck, but you know what? It's hot, and my makeup is not right now, so I'ma just do this. I love y'all. Again, I'm not perfect, and here's another way I'm not perfect. Like, I let my dysphoria get to me. I do. I let it get to me. I don't like how I look, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't care about vanity. I shouldn't care about how I look and how other people think, but it does get to me. It does. And people can tell me I'm cute all they want. Like, I still, like, will always, like, find the flaws within myself. But it's something I need to work to not do anymore. And to switch gears, I guess, to something I actually intended to talk about in this stream. You gotta learn to love yourself, guys. You do. You do. I know a lot of people think that's gay or it's cringe or whatever. You do. I gotta learn to love myself. And a lot of days I do. A lot of days I really try my best to get out of my bed and be like, girl, you looking fine. All right? Stop it. Stop noticing your stubble. Stop it. Girl, bitch. You're okay. Let's go do our makeup. All right? Let's Let's chill. Let's not, you know. And I gotta remind myself sometimes, bitch, you got value. I don't call myself bitch, all right? I try not to call myself bitch. I'm like, girl, you got fucking value. Stop it. You think you're worthless? You got people online that listen to you. You don't got a huge fucking audience? Well, you got an audience. Be grateful, right? You do good shit. You're getting smarter. You're growing. You're becoming a better person. No, you're not fucking perfect. Yeah, you've got your fucking issues. Yeah, you've got your depression and your bullshit and you let shit get to you sometimes. We all do. Chill. You're good. You're doing good. You gotta be willing to give yourself that props and recognize you're growing. You're not perfect. You're not there yet, but you're growing. Because all we can ever do is the first step towards growth is realizing that you need to grow and you need to get better, but you need to take a step beyond that, obviously, and start working towards bettering yourself. That is important. Once you've started working towards bettering yourself, you have to take a step back and realize it's not going to happen overnight or even over a week, maybe not even over a year. But progress is progress. And the time it takes to become a better person is worth who you will be in the end. And you just trying to be the person that you want to be is a reason to give yourself the credit. To be like, I know who I want to be. I know where I want to end up. And I know where I've been. I know why I was where I was. And I know why I'm not where I want to be. So I can take a step back. I can chill. I can look at myself and be like, you know what? You got your issues. You're not perfect. But you're a human fucking being. I talk a lot about like the importance of charitability in general. And I think a lot of people like don't understand it, because I talk about we got to be charitable to other people. We got to be charitable to each other. But a lot of people do not understand. A lot of the vitriol and hate and loathing that we project out into the world comes from our own self-hate. I know that. Because I've spent years of my life hating other people and hating myself just as much, if not more. And I know that I've used, and a lot of you will realize this if you're really honest with yourself, and if you really, again, it's difficult to admit, but like to really be honest about yourself, about the criticisms that you make of society, about the problems that you have with other people, the conflicts in your own personal life. Why do these things bother you about others so much? Is it maybe because you view some of these traits in yourself and you hate yourself for it? And so you feel the only way to truly fight back against a problem that you know deep down, even subconsciously, that you're contributing to. And again, maybe even only subconsciously you realize that if in no other way you can at least maybe make the world a better place by advocating against the thing that you can't help yourself from doing, the trait that you can't help yourself from having, the, whatever personality trait that is that you view so abhorrent in other people. We all do it, and we don't do it about everything, but we all do it to an extent. All of us. All these years of growing have revealed nothing but becoming more and more offensive, with not one thing I can show normies that will gain their acceptance into their society. First of all, why do you want acceptance into normies' society? And second, what growing if all you've become is more offensive? What do you mean by that? What do you mean more offensive? Are you becoming more reactionary? Are you like growing down the alt-right pipeline? Like I don't know what you mean by that. You're becoming more offensive to normies in society. Like what about, because I'm not going to assume that you adhere to my ideology or any part of it just because you're watching me. But personally, what I believe and what I preach here on this channel, I think is pretty damn marketable to normies. Maybe not everything I say, but I feel like the general message of what I put forth. In fact, I've noticed that, and see, I used to be afraid to describe my channel to normies, but now I'm not. Now, honestly, I kind of enjoy it. I kind of like hearing people's reaction when I tell them what I do. If someone asks me, oh, you have a channel? Yeah, what's that about? And I tell them, it's about fucking spreading a message of hope. About, you know, positivity and the importance of, like, charitability and understanding and acceptance and growing as people. Personal growth is extremely important to me, and it's something I will always promote here. And, you know, and I even tell them, like, yeah, you know, and I respond to crazy conservatives and shit. That's also fun. I go on rants. But the overall message, I feel like I can actually, like, wear, like, the overall message of my channel on a bumper sticker or on a t-shirt and go out into society and be like, yep, this is who I am. And the people that don't like it, fuck them. Fuck them. They're cynical people who don't want to engage in self-growth and bettering themselves anyway. They don't want to have hope. They want to fucking spiral and wallow and make excuses. And when I say fuck them, I don't say those people are worthless. They're still, you know, everyone has the potential to fucking come to that realization that, like, oh my god, like, shit's not gonna get better unless we actually stand up and fight for it. I'm not gonna be better unless I stand up and fight for myself and just try to be happier, try to have hope. You're not gonna have hope unless you want to have hope, by the way. You have to want to be hopeful. You have to want better for yourself. Otherwise, you're never going to have hope. Seeing how bad the world is and humanity shows us to hate ourselves is the supreme truth. No. No, that's wrong. Hating ourselves is not productive. When I look around at society and when I see, sure, the world is bad and it's fucked up. All right, Ann Kennedy. Nice seeing you in here, yo. By the way, everybody who's a patron of mine needs to heads up. By the end of the month, you need to, like, switch over to my new Patreon because my old Patreon is going to be shut down and no one's going to be. I made it so no one's going to get charged this month, but after that, if you stay on that Patreon, that's Chess's Patreon, so you'd be supporting her. So if you want to support me, you got to come to my new Patreon. And I don't think she's going to use that one anyway. So it's probably just going to be shut down. So, yeah, make sure to come to my new one, patreon.com/Hopium. Anyone out there? Yeah, sorry. Just want to give that a little heads up. Well, certain patrons are still here. Because I saw like 3 or 4 patrons. And I don't know if anyone is... I don't know who's still here, but I just want that heads up to be out there. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yeah, no, hating ourselves is bullshit. No, fuck that shit. We got to learn to love ourselves so that we can love others. A lot of the greed, a lot of the negativity that gets perpetuated in our world is perpetuated by people who hate themselves and so therefore hate others. They hate themselves. They think they're worthless piles of shit, and the only way they can cope is to convince themselves that everyone else is just as fucking horrible and shitty and disgusting as they are. Or there's the people who do that the other way around, where they look around at how horrible everyone is and they think, well, I guess, I'm part of humanity, so I must be as fucked up as everyone else is. The reality is neither of those things are true. We treat each other like shit because we hate ourselves. We look down on ourselves. We pity ourselves and victimize ourselves, which also isn't helpful, but in doing that, because we don't have sympathy for ourselves, we pity ourselves, and there's a difference there. Pity, I feel like, has a certain amount of contempt attached to it, right? And so when we pity ourselves, we end up pitying everyone else and just viewing them as like, well, pitiful. Ugh. Pitiful, heartless, mindlessly collecting hearts. The rage of the Keyblade releases the... I'm sorry. Okay, nerd moment. You ever hear a word and it, like, triggers some, like, completely unrelated, like, meme in your head? Pitiful, heartless, mindlessly collecting hearts. Yeah. Based game, though. Anyway, y'all get my point. We gotta stop hating ourselves. We gotta stop hating each other. We gotta realize we're all going through this. Life is hard. Life sucks. But we're all going through it. All of us. We all gotta experience it. We all gotta wake up in the morning. We all gotta go to bed at night. And as much as you might be able to look at some other people like, oh, well, they have more than me, or they've got better this or that or whatever, they're happier, more fulfilled, whatever. At the end of the day, life is suffering for all of us. We've all gone through shit, and we all will go through shit. And especially the one major one, we're all going to die in the end. All of us. And at the end of our lives, who we are, what we are, is going to be the sum of our total experiences. What did we experience? What did we do? And that's all we are as humans. And I want to have good experiences. I want to die knowing that I lived life. I experienced life. I was a part of this life. And I enjoyed it. I was hurt by it. There were good times. There were bad times. But at the end of the day, I did life the best I could. And I never stopped trying to grow and be better. And I want other people to be able to die knowing that they've experienced good things. Overall. And again, this is like the general attitude of like being charitable. I want good things for myself. So I want good things for others too. I don't want to be the only one who lives a happy, fulfilled life. I want us all to live life to the fullest, have as great a life as we fucking can. That's what I want for every single fucking person. And it's never going to happen. We're never going to achieve the place where everybody has a perfect life or a tolerable life even. Some people are going to suffer. Some people are going to be born suffering and die suffering. And that sucks. And we'll never be able to get rid of all of it. But we can work to alleviate some of it. And where we can, we should. We should never just take the stance of like, oh, like, I'm not going to bother doing this because it's not going to solve the problem, when even though it's not going to solve the problem, it still alleviates it. This is why, by the way, I get so fucking mad when doomers deride incrementalism. You go, these neo-libs, you're just a lib. You're lib-cucked if you think that, like, you're lib-cucked if you think that, you know, incrementally improving things is viable. Look, sometimes it's all you got. Sometimes we don't got another option. That's the way forward. You go forward. We're trying to go forward. Look. You see, there's we can go back. We can go forward. I want to go forward. And sometimes you can go forward fast. Sometimes you can only go forward a little bit slowly. But going forward is going forward. And it's certainly better than going backwards. I had to come to terms with being pretty cold inside, living without a loving God, pointing a gun in my nose, commanding me to love myself and others because he hates us. Damn, dude. Look. And I get this, by the way. Coming out of religion, everyone's going to go through an edgy phase. Everyone's going to go through a phase where it's just like, fuck God. You know what? There is no God. And, like, you know what? I'm going to embrace the darkness, you know? A lot of people go through it. Not everybody. A lot of people do. You had a gun in your nose. Like, whatever. I don't know. Everyone's going to feel at least a little bit hopeless at some point. But I'm an optimistic nihilist. And what that means to me, and what it generally means, is that I view the inherent meaninglessness of the universe as, rather than a hindrance, I view it as freedom. I view inherently the inherent meaninglessness of everything as one of the most freeing things you can come to understand. No longer do you have to live your life by the oppressive rule of religion, ideology, family, government. You don't have to adhere or believe what these people tell you to believe. You don't have to live your life following some strict fucking guidelines. We're all fucking free to make our own goddamn decisions, to live life, to be who we want to be. No one can tell you that, like, the way you want to live your life is wrong. Now, does that mean that some people can end up living unhealthy lifestyles? Sure. But for the most part, well, honestly, I still find that preferable, because it leads to more people living more freely. And nihilism just believes, nihilism just means you believe life has no inherent meaning. It doesn't mean being a black hole of despair and a conduit of negativity. Yes. And that's something I try to, like, get across, especially when I hear, not just normies. It pisses me off. Like, a lot of people use nihilism interchangeably with, like, doomer, pessimist, cynical. Like, you can be a cynical nihilist, or a pessimistic nihilist, or an existential nihilist, which is the actual term. I forget what the other one is. The what is it? Whatever. It's What is it? There's a lot of different there's like passive and active nihilism. There's like whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. I take an optimistic view of nihilism. That's the thing a lot of people overall, nihilism doesn't prescribe anything. Nothing. Nihilism doesn't tell you how to view the universe or how to think. All nihilism tells you is that there's no inherent meaning. And again, I choose to use that to say, well, there's no meaning, there's no God, so I don't got to follow these stupid fucking rules anymore. I don't got to follow societal rules. I don't got to bow to societal pressure or religious pressure or family pressure or any kind of indoctrination. I can live life and be me and feel comfortable knowing that I'm me, and anyone who has a problem with it, it's their own subjective opinion. And they're free to it, but their subjective opinion has zero effect on my way that I choose to view the world. Wait, that means nobody can tell Kenneth Copeland the way he lives his life is wrong. No, wait. I'm for freedom, and I love that everyone always gets this wrong. I'm for maximum freedom up until it involves removing the freedoms and rights of other people or harming other people. Kenneth Copeland has a harmful effect on society, so calling him out and saying that he's wrong is the exact thing to do. Yeah. Like, if people are harming society, we have a right to call them out and say, yeah, the way you're living your life is having an effect on us. It's affecting the rest of us, and we don't like it. We have the right to do that. Nobody has the right to inflict harmful ways of living onto other people. But you have a right to, like, Kenneth Copeland has a right to his ideology. He can think whatever the fuck he wants. He's just a grifter who, and I'm not even saying he should be paying taxes. All religious organizations should. He should especially be paying a lot in taxes. And I don't know if what he's doing should be banned, but it should be heavily socially disincentivized, and it should be called out by, again, people like me who react to conservatives on YouTube. That's the whole point, is to challenge that shit. And to put forth better ideas to challenge that shit, so that the people that want, because it's not just like a lot of people that like make these videos like responding to conservatives, like, we know, like, conservatives aren't gonna fucking watch our shit, and if they do, they're not gonna watch it in good faith. The idea is to put out the ideas, and more positive ideas means more people thinking positively, I'm an existential nihilist, but to me that really doesn't mean much to me. I'm more of an Epicurean by temperament. I like some existentialism in small doses, but not much. Yeah. That's why I prefer optimistic nihilism and pessimistic nihilism, or cynical nihilism. But yeah, I televangelists have the freedom to free speech, but once they start selling their speech, they should pay taxes on it. Yeah. And again, just like Kenneth Copeland has free speech to grift people, I have the free speech to call him out and call him a grifter. And people should do that. I'm getting distracted by this fake fucking filter. I don't know why I get distracted by the filters so much. See, actually, this one looks better now. What? This is the one I normally use. I don't know why I wasn't using it earlier. Maybe the lighting was weird. Whatever. I don't know. I cannot wait to be on hormones, guys. I was actually supposed to call the doctor today. I kind of put that off. Well, I was busy. I was doing other shit today. Yeah. Kenneth Copeland looks so much like, yeah, I don't know who that is. Kenneth Copeland just looks like Kenneth Copeland to me, but I grew up watching Kenneth Copeland. My dad force fed me that shit for a long time. Not good. Aren't all streamers grifters, charming their audiences to the flute, charming their audiences to the flute of their charisma? Maybe to an extent. I mean, I definitely try not to be. I mean, yeah, I'm charismatic, and my charisma is something that I've worked on over the years, and I've tried to get better at speaking to people and getting my ideas out there, but no, like I don't know. I'm not grifting anybody. I'm honest about the things I say and believe, and And hey, if I was grifting, I would actually be making a living off of this right now, and not be broke as fuck. Which, by the way, if anyone wants to donate, Streamlabs are open, and they do help immensely. Yeah, I don't get paid for this shit, and I do it a lot. I'm streaming constantly, so it really helps when those of y'all out there who are able to, of course, donate, cause yeah, toss a coin to your streamer, yo. Hell yeah. But if you can't, I also appreciate y'all just fucking being here. Yeah, what? I just don't like the lighting in here. No, that doesn't work. Holy fuck, I need new lights. I need better lights. This is not good. I don't, okay, whatever. Lol, nice segue. I'll get 5% of that. Yeah. Maybe you could make jokes like that if you were someone who donates, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start instituting rules for who isn't. You can't even joke about being allowed to get a cut of my donations unless you contribute to them. I don't know why that would be a rule or how I would even enforce it, but okay, I don't know how to use Streamlabs. I'll just join the join the Patreon. Just $2 a month, y'all. That's the minimum anyway. But yeah, $2 a month, and you get access to all my shows. And speaking of which, I want to do I'm actually going to do some commentary on a conservative propaganda film on my next Patreon show. The movie Left Behind. It's a movie I grew up with. I grew up watching it, and I actually always really liked it. And I have a lot to say about it. And so I'm gonna show it to Annie. Hopefully, and yeah, we're gonna watch it and comment on it, and that'll hopefully be a fun show for those of y'all who are patrons. So, hell yeah! I don't know if we're gonna do it this week or next week, but we are gonna do it. I'm gonna try to fit it into this week, depending on what happens and what we do. But hell's yeah. No, not the Nick Cage one. No. Look, as much as I believe like the whole like Left Behind thing is propaganda and all bullshit, I haven't even watched the whole thing, by the way. I've watched like summaries of it, and I've seen like scenes and bits and pieces, and I know the entire plot of that movie, and it doesn't even follow the book. It doesn't even follow like the plot of the first. It's like it's like an it's like an eighth of the first book, and like a third of like the original movie. Like it doesn't even like. It's literally just, from what I can tell, like all takes place on a plane, and it's just, oh my god, it just looks really bad. I will not watch that. No. believe it or not, the old one with Kirk Cameron is infinitely better and more watchable, and actually has some I would say not horrible performances or scenes. I would say from a certain. I always loved the Antichrist in that film. I always thought he did a really good job. And he was actually always my favorite fucking character, even when I was a Christian. And I admitted that once, and my dad was like, "What? How could he's the evil guy? How dare you? He's the devil. He's literally the devil. He shouldn't be your favorite anything." Oh, okay. Stream Left Behind with Teddy. What? Who's Teddy? Are you Teddy? Who's Teddy? Teddy Rubskin? Who the fuck's Teddy Rubskin, yo? Hey, everybody, it's me, Teddy Rubskin. Hey, we should go get a McGriddle burger. You know, it's real good. Come with me, get a McGriddle burger. We're gonna go to McDonald's and review their food. It's gonna be great. I like Teddy. I haven't seen that much Teddy, but like the shit that Annie's showed me of Teddy on Underhaven has been fun. Proof Jamie was never a real Christian. I was never a real Christian. Damn. I was like I'm talking like I watched the Left Behind movies religiously. I read all the books multiple fucking times, and I believed that shit was going to happen. That's why I was reading the books. I believed I was studying prophecy. I was trying to prepare myself for the end times. I was literally trying to prepare myself for what was to come, I thought. Also, you want to know something funny? Sorry. Okay. Real thirsty. I'm good. What? That's a really obscure DP reference. G-Man always claimed any Christian who became an atheist was never a real Christian. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so I watched that shit. I thought it was gonna happen. And you wanna know something funny? Yeah, I used to, when I still believed this shit, because there was a point where I still believed in God, but I thought he was an asshole. And I actually remember before I fell back into religion and then discovered TJ and got out of it for good, there was a point where I was really, like, I called myself an atheist, but part of me still kind of believed in God because it was so ingrained in me. But there was a point where I kind of believed in God again, but I was like, well, he's a fucking asshole. If he exists, he is a piece of fucking shit. He is horrible. Even just read the Bible. He's clearly portrayed as an asshole in it. But I still believed it was all going to happen. I still believed in God, heaven and hell, the end times. It was still so ingrained in me. And, it was so ingrained in me that there was a point where I advocated so I had two ideas. One thing was I advocated for, we need to, rather than, look, we all agree, God's real, heaven's real, hell's real, right? We don't want people to go to hell. So how do we stop people from going to hell? And I remember I was talking to my uncle about this at the time, who is a Christian still. I was talking to him about this. I was like, look, we want to save people from, taking the mark of the beast, and we want to save people from going to hell, So how do we do that? Here's what we do. We have a Christian outreach program for like teens and shit, for like edgy, disaffected teens who are like me, who are like, well, God's an asshole. And we push the message that, guys, look, God is a fucking asshole, okay? We're not denying that. We're not saying you gotta love God. We're not saying you gotta come be a fucking Christian. All we're saying is that you have to have a few things in mind, because the end times are coming, and you have to be prepared for it, because there's going to be insane tribulations on earth, and, We're going to go through the rule of the Antichrist. And overall, you need to know not to take the mark of the beast. This is what I believed, okay? This is literally what I believed. And I personally, I knew I was not a good Christian. I knew I had my doubts, and I knew that, like, I was really edgy and I hated God. And I was just like, so I was like, yeah, when the rapture happens, I'm probably not going up. And the funny thing is, and I used this more recently to, like, shut up my mother, who was like, but you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna go to hell. I'm like, oh my God. This was always my plan, okay? I'm gonna live my life, do me. Eventually the rapture will happen within my lifetime. I always believed that it would happen within my lifetime. My parents believe that too, that it'll happen within our lifetime. And I think actually there are certain family members in my life that believe this, and this is maybe how they cope with the idea of me not being a Christian. So we all believed, like, right, yeah, it's coming, the rapture is happening, it's gonna happen. I believed I was gonna, as a bad Christian, right, who, you know, is probably not pure enough or not worthy to be taken up, I will be left behind. And as someone who is left behind, who knows all of this shit, who was raised, taught as a Christian, I know and I know what's going to happen, that I would be able to use that knowledge and understanding to save other people and, like, you know, build a network of believers to, like, be the resistance against the Antichrist. Like, and I legit thought, like, you know, hey, like, maybe I'll rise to prominence and be like Kirk Cameron on Left Behind, and I'll be the one setting up the secret underground illegal prayer meetings and Bible studies so we can get the word out there to people so everybody knows, and you know, going up again. Yeah, I legit LARPed about that. And the funny thing is, like, if you still believe this shit, like, technically it could still happen. And again, I do think that's why, like, certain family members of mine have kind of just, like, come to terms with the fact that I am an atheist, and I'm probably always going to be an atheist, at least until Jesus comes. Then I'll see, you know. Then I'll learn, yo. Or then I'll realize that all the shit that I already knew was... And see, that's as far as I'll go when it comes to engaging with Pascal's wager with religious people. That's my version of Pascal's wager, okay? Hey, I don't know that the end times are going to happen or not, but hey, you believe in it, right? So, well, I already know all of this shit. I already know everything that's going to happen according to the Bible, right? So if it happens and I'm left behind, I'll be the first one to know. And I'll be the first one on YouTube here telling people, hey, guys, it's the rapture. Let's, hey, I thought God wasn't real, but guess I was wrong. So guess we better all fucking repent. Or resist God. It really depends on the situation, you know? I'd have to see how I feel in the moment. You know? Yeah, maybe the Antichrist is really fucking cool, you know? Maybe he's really based. So if the fundamentalist Christian God reveals himself to the world, what will you do? Well, again, seriously. Yeah, no, I'll take the question seriously. So, well, like I said, it depends. It depends in what way that were to happen. Like I said, if the rapture happened and, you know, it was like end times shit and the Antichrist is here and I honestly, like, see, I don't know what I would do. What I suspect I would do in this alternate reality that'll never fucking come to pass. I suspect at that point I'd kind of have to, even though my own principles morally, I'd be like, well, I don't really like this God. I don't like a lot of the shit that he teaches and has put forth on this world. I don't like the world he created, and I disagree with all of it. He's the guy in charge, right? Like, what do you do at that point? Like, Do I want to burn for all eternity? Like, no. Okay, fine. That being said, though, I mean, if hell is real, I won't have been the first one to go there. That's the other, and that's a comforting fact that's kind of like helped me to stop believing in hell, and helped me when, as I was like getting out of believing in hell, I had to remind myself, like, for how much of human history have people like not believed in God and died? How many epic fucking people in history that I've looked up to are probably in hell, you know? Heck, fucking George Carlin's probably in hell, you know? David Bowie's probably in hell, you know? All the cool people are in hell, so, you know? Yeah, what? I'm not afraid of hell. It's just heaven for bad people. And we're all bad people on some level. So, yeah. If I have to end up in hell, I'll end up in hell. But, I'll send you a video I used to have up on this subject. All right, I'll take a look at it. Overall, like, if it was revealed and it seemed like absolutely true that no, this is what's happening and it is what the Christians thought and the Christian God is real, maybe I probably would be out here being like, hey guys, this is what's happening. I don't know that I would take a pro-God stance. Again, that would really have to fucking depend on the outcome. Now or like what God, like, that would have to depend on like what is made apparent by what we can prove at that point. And so I would probably just err on the side of, hey, you know what, God, which, by the way, like, I would fully be expecting for God to, like, you know, reject me in the end anyway at that point and say, oh, like, you only did this out of self-preservation, so you're not a true follower. But then again, why else would hell be introduced in the equation in the first place, if not to, like, force people to act out of self-preservation? And that's why at the end of the day, the prospects of heaven and hell are just so fucking ludicrous to me. That honestly, look, if I am at my most principled and God reveals himself to me or to the universe, but also reveals that everything in the Bible is true, because that's another caveat. Like, if the Bible was like some book that was fucked up by men and like it actually has the totally wrong picture and God is actually some benevolent fucking force, then obviously I'd follow him or whatever. I'd be like, okay, cool, based. But then if he was benevolent, he wouldn't send me to hell if I didn't accept him. So, you know, if I'm at my most principled, though, which I would have to hope I would be strong enough to be, again, I don't know. Being faced with the creator of the universe, especially when you don't believe such a thing exists, I don't know how I would behave in that moment, but I would have to hope that I'd be able to be like, you know what? You created this shit, but I don't agree with you. I don't agree with any of it. I think it's fucked. Because you know what? That's my stance with my fucking parents. They brought me into this world, but they fucked me up. They fucked up as parents. They did a shitty fucking job. They did a horrible job. They should be in jail. Literally. But that's why I've taken a stance. I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't need you in my life. And I'd hope I'd be able to say the same shit to God. And be like, no, fuck you. You're not my real dad, bitch. I didn't ask to be born. You know, like, fuck you. Like, nah, I'ma do me. If you're gonna send me to hell for being myself, then I get to die and go to hell knowing that I stood for my principles along with everybody else who I'll be meeting up with in hell. So, okay, let's do it. Yeah, I'll get to meet George Carlin and David Bowie and maybe even Karl Marx. I don't know if Karl Marx was secular or not. I don't know if he was like from a time when everyone was religious or, hey, but Maybe maybe all those people were fake religious and they're all in hell too. Never know how God's gonna judge people in the end, yo. If we're all bad people, shouldn't we hate ourselves and everyone else? No, because we're also all good people. We're just... Look, when I said we're bad people, what I meant was we're all people. We all exhibit positive and negative traits. We can all be shitty. We all have the capacity to be shitty. And we've all done shitty things. All of us. But that's because we're human. We're human. We do shitty things, but we also are capable of amazing things. We're capable of doing good. So, rather than like... Rather than just viewing people as like, oh no, we're all bad. We've all done horrible things, so fuck everybody. I want to be like, no, we're all capable of amazing shit, like all of us. We're capable of being so much better than we are. And so I would rather view people for their potential rather than the shitty things that they've done when, again, I'm sorry, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Who the fuck hasn't done bad things? We've all experienced life. And we're all a product of our experiences. And we've all done shit we're not proud of. But the fact that we're even on any level not proud of those actions proves that we're better than we think we are. Because we want to be better. That's what it proves. When you look at yourself and say, I'm a piece of shit, god damn, I really do suck. That is the spark of the idea that leads you to realizing, oh, I think I'm a piece of shit. I want better for myself. I recognize my flaws. And they make me uncomfortable. So maybe rather than wallowing and pitying myself, I should say, okay, I recognize my flaws and now I'm going to work to change them. And I should give myself credit for being intelligent enough to be able to look at those problems and saying, I want to work to change them. And again, it's all about perspective. It's like a glass half full sort of thing. You can look at it as like, oh, well, I've done so many bad things and I just suck and I'm a horrible person. See, I even know I'm a horrible person, but I suck, yo. Or you can be like, I know that I suck. There's a part of me that doesn't want to suck. There's a part of me, even if it's just minuscule, there's a part, that spark of humanity that's... If society disappoints you, if you disappoint you, then that's because there's a you with somewhat decent values to be disappointed in the first place. So take that. Use that. Take that step. So basically, it's hard for me to articulate thoughts in these small blurbs without sounding repetitive. No, that's fine. Were you... Did I say you were repeating yourself? What? Why did you tag me in that? Did you mean to tag Blaine? Whatever. See, this is why it's annoying when you guys argue with each other in the chat. I hope y'all realize. Anyway. Why the fuck is the stream having issues? I don't fucking know. I wasn't intending to argue. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, I see like this back and forth, like going on for like a long time. I'm just like, I don't know what y'all are talking about anymore. So I'm just not going to respond to it. But then it makes me not want to respond to the chat at all because I don't know who's responding to that and who's responding to me, because sometimes people respond to a conversation without using the correct tag. And yeah. If you're gonna argue with each other in the chat, at least fucking tag each other properly and don't refer to that conversation unless you're tagging the people in it. Because, like, the chat is there so I can have a back and forth with you guys. Again, I'm not going to go full Paul, but... yeah, anyway, I hope I'm making some sense to y'all. No, it's fine, y'all. It's fine. I just prefer that y'all direct your questions and shit at me, not at other people in the chat. Yeah, no, chats are not good for, like, exchanging ideas in general. And see, I'm not, like, you're not even going to be able to exchange your ideas with me very well. Like, I can get my ideas across really well because I can say them. I can use, you know, I have more time to, like, explain things, sometimes eloquently when I'm able to. But you guys have, like, a very short amount of characters to, like, get ideas across. I get that. But, like, anyway, yeah, I hope I've been making some sense for y'all tonight. Because overall, like, and again, I know I'm borrowing philosophy from Christianity, and people don't like that, but I think there's value in every ideology, or not in every ideology, but there can be value in most ideologies, and there's nothing wrong with picking and choosing and being like, oh, well, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. And as Jesus fucking said, you need to learn to love your neighbor as you love yourself. See, that's the thing a lot of people forget. Jesus Jesus said to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. He didn't just say love your neighbor. He wasn't just saying, hey, just be kind to other people, but don't be kind to yourself. You need to love your neighbor and yourself. Love thyself. That's the step one. See, love thy neighbor as you love yourself means step one is love thyself. That's step one. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to love your neighbor. If you don't want good things for yourself, you're not going to want good things for your neighbor and your countrymen. If you don't want what's best for yourself, then you're not going to want what's best for humanity. And that's detrimental. Look, are there people out there who love themselves too much? Yeah, probably. Are those people a problem? Yeah. But those people have also tricked us into hating ourselves, into thinking that we're not worthy, we'll never attain their status. We are the lowly plebs of the universe. We exist to serve those greater than ourselves, because we'll never attain that level. It's all meant to make us devalue ourselves. The whole capitalist fucking system. When you go to your fucking job and work as a cog in the corporate machine, a machine that doesn't care about you in the slightest. When you do that, you're devaluing yourself. The system wants you to devalue. It wants you to view yourself as worthless. as, hey, whatever, hey, I'm not even valuable to this company. You know, they could just replace me. I better do what they say. Better do what they want. That's how we're fooled into complacency. When we don't think we're worth more. It's also how we're fooled into complacency in shitty relationships. Shitty family relationships. Shitty, romantic relationships, whatever. We convince ourselves we don't deserve better. And we convince ourselves that, in fact, we deserve much worse. And so we should be glad for what we have. And we should just shut up and take it. I ain't shutting up and taking anything. Not only on behalf of myself, but on behalf of the human species, our society. I want better. I want better for me. I want better for you. I want better for the people of America, the people of Canada, the people of Japan, China, Afghanistan, Iraq, Palestine, Israel, the people of this goddamn world, this entire blue ball hurling around the sun, the whole fucking goddamn planet. I want better. Better. Not perfect. We'll never attain perfect. But we can always strive to be better. And even if we're just incrementally getting better, better is better. And better is what I want. So I will always fight for it. Yeah, dude. That should be when we do the worldwide universal workers strike, that should be our slogan on all the signs. Give me better or give me death. I just want better. Give me better. Because what we got right now ain't good. And I want better and better and better until it is good. I do too. I consider myself vaguely as a left-wing nationalist, because I think people should focus on their own community's self-interest as a primary goal and charity to others as secondary. No, I reject that. Look, well, okay, I reject that in the broad sense. When it comes to, like, actions that we can take right here and now to start with, I do agree, like, I do agree, like, you gotta start somewhere. And I do think you gotta, like, be able to clean your own room before you can clean the rest of the world. At least on some level. Like, it's good to try to figure shit out. Fix your own shit before go. But I also adhere to the mindset of think globally, act locally. All right, and I think that's a far more productive mindset, because we do need to be thinking globally. We need to have our minds, our eye on the bigger picture. Okay, we can never forget the bigger picture, because again, hey, by the way, there were people that were trying to build their own communities, trying to build up, trying to, look out for their own, who were responsible for the tragedies, the tragic fucking war that has taken place in Afghanistan and other Middle Eastern countries for the last 20 fucking years. Sometimes just looking out for your own best interest. And by the way, I bet those a lot of those military generals and soldiers, even everyone who got involved, believed, oh, we're doing the best thing we can for America. America first. No. When you have a America first mentality, That's a warlike mentality. That's a mentality that can justify doing all kinds of shitty fucking atrocities to other people that are outside of your little fucking in-group. I believe that, sure, to start off with, we need to do what we can in our own communities. We need to build up our own country, our own communities. But we should never reject or stop thinking about actions that could go towards making the entire world a better place. I think it's extremely important to, like, keep in mind they're shoving American imperialism in other people's face. That's not nationalism. Nationalism and imperialism aren't synonymous. No, but they're pretty fucking close. And look, I don't know what you mean. You have to, first of all, you're going to have to define nationalism to me then. You have to explain to me how you're using it, all right? I think nationalism in general is not useful. Let's see. Yeah, wait. Here's the Google definition. Identification with one's own nation and support of its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment to the interests of other nations. Yeah, no. No. Nope. 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 Not down with that. First of all, identifying with one's own nation is fucking stupid. I don't identify as a Canadian. I don't identify as a North American or even as a Westerner. I identify as a fucking human. And identifying with your own nation is a very good way to, learn how to start dehumanizing other people, other groups of people that aren't like you. So no. Identifying with one's own nation and support for its interests. I mean, I guess supporting the interests of your own country is not a bad thing. But putting the interests of your country first is. I don't think America should take any action that they know is going to have a negative consequence on another nation. I think in general we should, all countries should work to not do that. We should be trying to make agreements that benefit each other and ourselves, not just only benefit ourselves at the detriment of others. And I know that sounds like a pipe dream, and it probably isn't going to happen anytime soon, but we do need to prioritize that mindset. So yeah, no, like, I'm absolutely against a nationalistic mindset. Absolutely. Yeah, here's the here's the definition for you. There you go. Wait. There we go. Yeah, what? Identification with one's own nation and support for its interests. And then it says especially to the exclusion or detriment of other of the interests of other nations, which that's when it gets even worse. Even if you ignore the especially, which you could maybe like chalk up to like editorialism, which doesn't normally really even happen when it comes to definitions, but or opinion or whatever, but like identification with one's own nation and support for its interests. Yeah, no, Again, we should support the interests in our country insofar as we're not, it is not to the detriment of another nation. Otherwise, we're just being selfish. Yeah, I'm absolutely, and yeah, just identifying with your nation in general. No, we shouldn't be identifying. That's how you otherize people. I'm a Canadian. You're an American. This person is Japanese. That person's British. Why? We're all people. And I think, and again, hey, I'm a fucking nihilist. I recognize the fact that these little lines of chalk that are written all over the planet that separate our little clumps of tribes in different locations, we drew them. We drew these lines. We are humanity, society. We drew them. They mean nothing. We can put up a fence there, and all that means is there's a fence there. And people are guarding it with their own brute force. It's humans. At the end of the day, it has no meaning beyond what we give it and what we do to defend it. So fuck these lines. Yeah, they're lines of chalk for all I care. That's exactly what they are. Your location means nothing, and you could have just as easily been born outside of America. You could just as easily have been born in Afghanistan yesterday. Where we're born, the kind of parents we're born to, the kind of life we get to have because of our upbringing and whatnot, that is all determined by the roll of a fucking dice. No one gets to choose what fucking country they're from. No one gets to fucking choose. So you can say all you want, oh, well, it's the other country, it's their problem. No. No. That's another a subjective viewpoint given to us by more systems of false meaning imposed upon us by society. No. It's a human problem. When other people suffer, it's a human problem. It's a Middle Eastern problem. It's an Afghanistan problem. It's a human problem. We're humans. We're responsible for each other. Those lines of chalk are ART. What? Art? What do you mean ART? If that's an acronym, I don't know what you're saying. You're saying actually art? They're the best of us that raise us up to grow to become something better. Wait, what? Those lines of chalk are art. They're the best of us that raise us to grow up to become something better. What are you saying? Are you saying that people that were born within certain lines of chalk are better than other people who were born outside of it because they decided to raise their children to be better and to in turn raise their children to be better? You can't actually believe that, can you? Please tell me that. Yeah, that can't be what you're actually... Is that actually what you're saying? You have to be more specific. Yeah, I'm talking about borders here, by the way. Nations, cultures, religions, these are what make us more than what we are. These are the means by which we grow. No. Nations, cultures, and religions are just societal structures. They're social constructs. And they can be useful. They can help us in growing. But they're not the only means in which we can grow. And if we adhere to antiquated ideas and never move past them, never evolve past what some dogmatic ideology tells us, then we're never going to grow or progress anyway. A strict adherence to culture or religion or national tradition is antithetical to growth. So people can't be prepared of their culture, Jamie? It's just meaning... What? Prepared? Did you mean to write a different word? And yeah, cultures do exist without borders, by the way, and I'm not anti-culture. I'm not anti-culture. I'm not anti-people observing their heritage. Proud, so people can't be proud of their culture. I didn't say that. I didn't say you can't be proud of your culture, which I don't know why you would be. It's not like you created it. But okay, whatever. You want to be proud of it? Fine. You want to be you want to admire your culture? Fine. I'm not stopping that. I'm saying though, if you have a strict adherence to it and refuse to view anything outside of the lens of your own culture, which, by the way, like, a lot of people in America talk about, like, oh, what about other cultures and other, destructive cultures and shit, as if we're not one, as if we don't have our own cultural issues. And yeah, cultures can actually absolutely exist without borders, and I have no problem with that. I want a society that is a mix of all cultures. I want the human culture, which, again, will have different branches, different offshoots, different segments, and, it won't all be practiced the same way everywhere, but, I want to incorporate as much good as I can from as many cultures as I can, and reject as many negative traits from as many cultures as I can, too. And that's a part of growth. That's how you grow to be better. I believe, personally, if you want to be better, you need to not just reject damaging and dogmatic ideologies, but instead you need to be able to think critically, examine each idea from each ideology, be able to pick and choose what's bad, what's good, and come to your own conclusions at the end of the day, be able to form your own opinions. By the same metric, I want society to be able to look at each individual culture and be able to pick and choose as a society, all of us, and say, this is what's good, this is what's bad. Accept the good, reject the bad. Wait, Jamie, are you Canadian or American? I am Canadian. I was living in the States for a while. I was engaged to an American, and we were going to get married. A lot of complicated bullshit happened, and I ended up staying there in immigration limbo for quite a while. Yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can go back and watch my one of my first couple streams when I came back to Canada. I explained that in another stream. The role of borders in the development of cultures is that they caused each culture to develop by itself into a distinct institution separately before exchanging with the others. Yeah, and I don't know that was necessarily a good thing, because maybe if cultures were able to intermingle more, first of all, they would be less different, which isn't really necessarily a good or a bad thing. I mean, different people being different is fine. I'm all for individuality, but maybe a lot of cultures would have less bad habits and more good ones, because we'd be able to intermingle as cultures and be like, oh, hey, this culture over here is very good friends with that culture over there, and we've talked and we've realized that, hey, human sacrifice, kind of not based, kind of cringe actually. So yeah, we used to do it, but that other culture convinced us of why it's wrong, so we're not doing that anymore. And we also decided that being pro-gay people is actually pretty red-pilled, because we've been able to see how other cultures and societies who, are better on these issues than we have been in the past, we're able to see that, hey, that actually works and it actually makes people happier. So yeah, we're actually, like, I do think if there was less tribalism and less otherism and less dehumanization, we'd all be able to, like, come together and realize our common goals and recognize that letting people live their lives and be happy and free, that's what leads to the best outcomes overall. cultures mingle with the existence of national borders. That's absurd. No, I'm talking about cultures in their development. Someone said that cultures in their development, that we needed borders for the development of cultures. I'm rejecting that and saying no. I actually think if cultures were less insular and less tribalistic and less oh, this is my space and that's your space, you stay out and no one's allowed, like, we'd be less there would be less bad ideas and more good ideas. Yeah, I think we would be more tolerant of each other. Yeah. Oh my god, you think people would just be convinced to not chop children's heads off? You have no idea how humans function? No. I think you have no idea how humans function. Are people going to do bad things? Yes. But when people do bad things and they're not challenged, especially when first of all, people don't do bad things thinking that they're doing bad. Most of the time people are doing wrong thinking that they're doing good. They think it's for a noble cause. And first of all, tribalism almost objectively... Wait, cutting off children's heads? Who would chop off children's heads, I wonder? Would it be someone who views those children as maybe somehow lesser? Somehow not worthy or part of their... because you can even have tribes within tribes, or you can have, like, in-groups within tribes. Like, tribalism begets more tribalism, which is why certain groups of people might even be like, oh, well, it's our right to kill any of our lessers or anyone who, opposes us or whatever. No, if we were more communal and were able to challenge each other and not just reject and push away anyone who has a different idea, I do believe we would come to more common understanding with other groups of people. I mean, that's a lot of the time immigrants come here from other countries, war-torn countries, countries that are vastly underdeveloped compared to our own. And a lot of them fucking integrate just fucking fine. In fact, most of them do. Most of them, they come from a completely different culture, and then they see the way we're doing things, and they start to conform to our way of doing things because they realize a lot of it is, oh, yeah, this is better. There's more freedom here. People are able to do what they want. Wait, Jamie, why is chopping off children's heads a bad thing? Genuine question, but how do you personally define good or bad? Okay. I thought you were being bad faith, but then you said, how do you personally define it? And I understand where you're coming from now. Okay. So my personal definitions of good and bad really come down to what causes harm. I believe harm is bad, freedom is good. But there's a limit to freedom, and the limit to freedom is harm. So, freedom is good in so as much as it does not cause harm. And harm is bad pretty much all the time, but can sometimes be unavoidable for the greater goal of freedom. So, yeah, I think that is generally a good way to define the two. Yeah. Freedom is good, harm is bad, but freedom that leads to harm is also bad. And harm in the name of freedom can sometimes be for the greater good. But we should prioritize freedom overall. And we should really deprioritize harm. And in fact, I don't like a lot of cases where harm is done for the greater good. And I think there's usually ways around that, but sometimes there's not. So children are a sub-tribe of the Aztec tribe. That's flat. Dude, you're okay. I want you to calm the fuck down. You're taking like the shit I'm saying like really like not necessarily personally, but like you're really being like obtuse and reductive. First of all, yeah, children are actually almost always viewed as an outgroup or a subgroup. Yeah, because children are viewed as like not being fully developed yet. They don't get a full say in society. They don't get viewed so yeah, and in a lot of societies, especially much older ones, children, I mean, let's be honest, still in society today in some places, even in America in some households, children in general are and have for a long time been viewed as nothing more than chattel. Yeah. A lot of people would, especially in tribal times and since then throughout his history, have had children for the express purpose of we need more workers. We need more people to till the fields and this and that. So yeah, children are have been by definition a subgroup of society. And viewing them as somehow lesser or somehow they're not they're not like us because they're not fully formed developed humans like us adult Aztecs, you know. So hey, if we have to sacrifice some of them to the corn god, you know, that's fine. Yes, children sacrificed as a result of tribalism. Yeah, okay, so then we agree. You've lost the thread? No, I think you've lost the thread. I don't know what you're on about. Like, legit, this is my stream. You're supposed to be responding to my arguments, and if you're on some other fucking level, then I don't even know what you're talking about there. Because, like I said, no, tribalism, absolutely. Viewing people as other than yourself is absolutely detrimental to society, and it has always been. And again, the point is, if maybe the Aztecs weren't so insular, if there were other tribes around them that did other shit that were like, hey, what's this children sacrifice? What is this? You sacrifice children? That's kind of weird. You know, like that's would it have necessarily had a positive outcome? No, but I generally think that when people are less insular, the effect is usually good. There's usually more understanding and more willingness to, but that's the thing. And by the way, I'm not even arguing that like that was even possible or you know, back in those times. Like, I don't even know that humans were capable of that then. But my point is, we're capable of it now. We're capable, and by the way, like, we have the internet. Now we can interact with people all around the world, at least for the most part. And again, when people in other parts of the world start coming in contact with people from the West, a lot of them do become more progressive, more open, more westernized in general. They start adhering to, like, you know, they become more artistic or whatever. They get into music or movies or whatever from the West, and because the good parts of our society do spread. Now, does bad shit in our society spread too? Yeah. But again, I think that the mindsets that perpetuate a lot of negative ways of thinking in our society are based on tribalism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, the kind of like xenophobia that causes war. All of these things are caused by fucking tribalism. Us viewing other humans as something other, something else. Us not being charitable. And again, all of this at its core, we treat others like garbage because we hate ourselves. We're not charitable to ourselves. So we're not going to be charitable to other people outside of our society or whatever. But we, you know, we still have value in having our little in-groups. So we keep those. But we still hate ourselves. And we still even hate the other people in our own in-groups. But we especially hate the people outside of them. Because they're not like us. They're different. This whole way of thinking needs to be turned on its fucking head. But we forced assimilation on the indigenous... When did I once use the term forced assimilation? When did I once use the term forced assimilation? I never said that. I never said we should force any groups to intermingle with groups that they don't want to. However, I think the idea of putting up barriers... See, there's a difference between, like, taking two groups, say, you're going here, you are going to, like, to come with these other people, and saying, yeah, we're not going to stop people from integrating and intermingling. And, dude, I was watching Demon Mama earlier. She made a really based argument. She was talking about borders, and she made the point that most Americans agree that it's a good thing that in America, there is nothing impeding you from going from one end of the country to the next. There's nothing impeding you from crossing any state lines. You are free to go where you want in America. And people in America understand that value. So why don't we understand it nationally? And I actually think that's a good argument to make to a lot of people in America. You understand the utility, right? In someone being able to say, you know what? I was in Washington State, and now I'm going to go to California. Or I was in New York, and now I'm going to Colorado, you know? And there could be endless reasons why. Maybe you have a better job opportunity there. Maybe you fell in love with someone who lives in another state, and you want to be close to that person. Maybe you have family or friends, or maybe the people around you, you know, just they don't get you, and you want to go where there are people that you know you'd relate to more. Maybe you just want a goddamn change of pace. Maybe you want to change of scenery. There's infinite reasons for saying I want to go from one place to this next place. And by the way, I'm not someone who prescribes abolishing all borders now. I just think it's a nice general idea to work towards as a society, where we could maybe have that long-term goal of like, hey, yeah, let's at least come to the realization that borders are fucking stupid and that they're arbitrary and have a negative effect on the lives of individual people who just want to be able to freely traverse the globe, live where they want to live, be around who they want to be around. So that's why I think it's good to give that freedom of being able to go wherever you want, and to not allow governments and whatnot to inflict the harm of restricting the freedom of regular people who want to relocate. On the other hand, there's states wanting to build a wall to keep the Californians out. I mean, people who are that far gone, you're not going to convince them to tear down any fucking border. Those are the people who, you know, there's going to be too far gones, all right? There's going to be people who are really entrenched in their insular ideologies, and Those people, by the way, aren't lost causes necessarily either, but they need to come to these realizations for themselves. They need to see for themselves why their ways of thinking are destructive and not valuable. I don't think it'll happen in our lifetimes, maybe when the earth is burning and shit. I don't think it'll happen in our lifetimes either, but again, it's a general idea that I am for. And it's more attached to like my general philosophy in life of like charitability and freedom and understanding and all of that. Like, it's all interconnected, okay? Just because I talk about something that like isn't going to necessarily happen in our lifetimes doesn't mean it doesn't have like a broader point. We need to start being more communal as we are communal creatures. We're social creatures. We need to start embracing that and stop trying to otherize people so we can justify treating them like shit and taking advantage of them and hurting them. That's it. So no, even the idea of keeping the U.S. unbordered and one isn't being adhered to by everyone anymore. Tribalism still has a seat at the table. I didn't say it doesn't. Why do you think I'm talking about this? I'm talking about this because tribalism is still prevalent in our culture. I'm talking for the importance of our society letting that go. I wouldn't be arguing that we need to let it go if I didn't think it was a problem. Yes, we're tribalists. Yes. Yes, tribalism does have a seat at the table. And it's gonna have a seat at the table as long as it's welcome. And I make the arguments for us not welcoming it anymore. Because we have far much more at stake, especially with climate change staring us down, okay? We're going to have to come together and face a common enemy at some point. The problem is, it's probably going to be too late by that point. Borders don't matter because the state borders don't matter, and we can all be one, not tribes competing for number one, is an argument that might not go over well in Texas. Well, first of all, you really oversimplified my argument there. But I didn't say it will go over well with everybody. But you can convince the people you can convince. And the people who want to be tribalistic, nationalistic, fucking xenophobic bigots, they can do them. But the fact is they're losing the culture war overall. And do they have spikes where they get back in control a little bit every once in a while? Yeah, like 20 years ago when the whole fucking war on terror thing started. Yeah, the reactionaries and the bigots and the nationalists and shit, they're able to do damage still, but overall our culture, our society is trending towards not that. Okay? We're trending towards progressivism. So we got to take that win and keep fighting for it and keep fighting against the fucking bad ideas. And I do think nationalism is a really bad fucking idea. Jamie, my concern is that humans seem to be hardwired to like owning personal property. How can one guarantee that new borders won't just pop up after destroying the old ones? We have to change our view on it. Our attitude as a society has to change on it. We have to, like, create a society that's built around not returning to that. And again, this isn't going to happen in our lifetimes. I'm more interested. I'm not. And by the way, I don't view it as a good reason. Like, why should we fight for this thing when someone will come along one day and try to destroy it? Is the thing worth having? Then we should fight for it. And when someone comes along and tries to destroy it or tries to undo the good that we've done, we should fight back against that and say no. That's the same reason, by the way, I didn't buy into this, like, well, why should we bother voting against Trump in the first place? He's just gonna come back. Why should we vote against fascism? Fascism is always gonna come back. Yeah, it is, and we should always fight against it. If borders are hurting our society, then if we ever actually do get rid of them, then we should always fight to keep them gone. And we shouldn't use the fact that people are going to try to bring them back as a reason to not fight against them. And that goes for fucking anything. You can use that as an argument against Medicare for all or UBI or what the fuck ever. You can say, what? You know, if we get a UBI, there's just going to be Republicans who are going to come along and try to get rid of it in the future. And you say, yeah, well, we're going to try and stop them. And that's all you can fucking do. No, there was a lot of good reasons to vote Trump out. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, I've heard this like line of thinking from a lot of people where it's like, oh, you know, well, Trump is just going to run anyway. And like, oh, like he's already trying to like come back. And, you know, it's like, yeah, okay. You got it. Sometimes you fight for a good outcome and then the bad outcome is still a risk. But at least you have the good outcome for a little bit and you keep fighting to keep the good outcome and to, yeah, get more good outcomes. It's called having hope and not giving up and trying to always fight for what's best. And realizing that sometimes what's best won't always happen, but it's still worth fighting for. Jamie, how far does your stance on open borders go? I don't know. I generally think that borders in general are just a stupid thing made up by idiot humans who want to like possess chunks of fucking earth that don't belong to anybody. So, do I go as far as to saying nobody should have any property rights whatsoever? Well, not unless we have a society where everything is provided for everybody. So I definitely wouldn't go that far anytime fucking soon. But I'm definitely like, I'm not against like taking away people's private property. I'm just, in terms of having border, who gets to decide what country, what government deserves what chunk of land? Like, this is all arbitrary, and a lot of these nations that exist now go back to like lands that were conquered and reconquered, and you know, over fucking thousands of years. Like, and even if you want to like appeal to the legal system or the UN or whatever, that's all fucking arbitrary shit too. It's all a series of social constructs that we put in place. So why couldn't we as a society say, you know what? We want something different. We're going to restructure. We're going to build something else, something better. We can absolutely do that, and we should. Anyway, this conversation could go on all night, and I'm like really fucking hungry. I'm like starving, actually. So I'm probably gonna end in a minute here. If anyone feels like tossing a coin to your streamer, it would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I'm glad y'all just chilled with me tonight. You know, hell yeah, it was a fun stream. I like having back and forths with the chat. I like being challenged with the chat. I like. Okay, wait. I'll respond to your comment, but it's the last one. When the climate crisis comes, fascism will definitely return, and corporatism as well. We will definitely no, you don't know any of those things, first of all. Even if you believe that those things are likely, I want you to take out all like view. I want you to remove the definitive nature of that statement, okay? Fascism will definitely return. It could. but we could also fight back against it. We could also have a society that's warned against it, that, you know, is... It just depends what kind of groundwork we lay before then. We will definitely live in a dystopia in the 2050s or 2060s. Like, you don't know that. You just don't. And acting as if, am I right or am I not? No. No. You're not right to view that as a given. And I think it's absolutely destructive to our society to live that way. To be like, well, it's already fucked. We're already going to live in this dystopia. No. We have to work to mitigate that disaster however the fuck we can. We have to fight for building green infrastructure, pushing left-wing socialist policies. If we get really fucking lucky within the next 10 to 20 years, we could have a society that may actually be fucking able to survive with minimum casualties. And there will still be hundreds of thousands of casualties, okay? But if we all work together, if we're all working on solutions, working on building a better future and spreading good ideas, if we all work towards that goal, we have no idea what we could accomplish. None. We just don't. You know, Nikola Tesla, over 100 years ago, came up with Wi-Fi. People in his day thought he was mad. They thought he was insane. He had a lot of ideas. A lot of people thought that's never going to happen. Never. It's not even possible. And based on what society knew at that time, they all thought it wasn't. But we've gone leaps and bounds beyond what many people thought were possible at many points in history. So I refuse to believe that we're fucked, or that, you know, we there's no possible positive outcome. We have to keep fighting for it. I'm just saying we need to prevent it. People are saying eco-fascism will rise in the future. You're already seeing this begin to root. I don't know. I don't know about eco-fascism, okay? I think actually eco-fascism is something different, first of all. That, like, the way you said it was like fascism will rise, like the Trumpists will take over or some shit, or like a group of Nazis or whatever, which, again, by the way, is a possibility. But what did Zeta get the hammer for? Who, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who did what. Did someone get banned from the chat? I don't know. I'm not even looking at the back end of the chat. I can only see what you guys post. I can't see who got banned. I want to I don't know why Realize timed him out. They made a joke about I want to kick Baby Yoda in the ribs. I don't know what that was about. Okay, whatever. It was a complete non sequitur anyway. I guess Realize deleted the comment or whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know why they would time that out. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah, we've gone on for long enough. This has been a stream. Tomorrow I'll do a more planned stream. I got some shit I want to talk about. I want to do 2 planned streams this week because I have a few things I want to talk about, and I kind of want to keep some of them separated. Especially like drama shit. I think like that needs to be in its own stream. But yeah, hopefully we'll do two planned streams, and then we'll sorry, Jamie, just been a bit worried. Maybe I'm super high, girl. Need hopium? Yeah, you do need hopium. Take 2 hopium pills and call me in the morning, okay? If this stream was not enough hopium for you, then I don't know, go watch one of my last couple ones. They were good. Even my my transiversary stream was also pretty good. Yeah. Tesla made the radio wave transmitter. Wi-Fi was made by the Department of Defense. No, but the idea of Wi-Fi was like the basic idea of what would become Wi-Fi was something that Tesla came up with. Yeah. The point is, like, we don't know the limits of our technology and where it could go, and we just don't. We don't know the limits of science and technology. So we need more and more people working towards solutions and not just giving up, because we don't know what solution will fix the planet. Ultimately, it'll probably be multiple. In fact, it won't just be one solution. There needs to be multiple solutions. And by the way, that's the approach I take in everything. Everything has multi-tiered solutions. There's no just one solution for any problem. All right? And that's the way we got to think. We got to be looking at every problem from every angle and trying to find all the solutions. All right? Hells yeah. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for watching. If y'all enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share my shit around, yo. Let people know that you enjoy this stream and that it's good. Also, if you do enjoy it, consider becoming a patron. For only $2 a month, you get access to all of my private shows, all my previous ones and all future ones. And this month, I already did one private show where I covered some of me and Annie roasted some of my oldest videos on this channel. They were really cringe, really cringe, but it was a lot of fun to comment on them and shit. So if y'all want to check that out, go become a patron, only $2. Go watch the last show, a lot of fun. Also, I'm going to be doing a second patron thing this month because we didn't do one last month, and everybody gets access. Anyone who was a patron last month gets access to it. Anyone who's a patron now gets access to both. We're going to be doing a commentary, me and Annie, of the movie Left Behind, the original one with Kirk Cameron. So if that sounds fun to people, that sounds interesting, go become a patron. Again, only $2, y'all, and it's a great deal, y'all. It's a great fucking deal. All right. Also gets you special Discord roles. Join my Discord too. You can chat with me in there and get notification rolls whenever I go live and shit. So hell yeah. Anyway, this has been Lady Hopium. I hope you all have enjoyed this stream. I will see y'all next time. Have a wonderful night, guys. Bye. And yes, stay positive.